and especially Isaiah, and really help you on the boards and defense.
Yeah, that was probably Isaiah's best game since he's been here. He probably kicked himself because he had those two kind of, turnovers towards the end that he could have secured. But I told him when he walked up the court, I'm like, you won us the game. You played so hard, blocked shots, rebounded the ball. He's growing up right in front of our eyes. That should give him great confidence.
Next, we will go over to Andy Grader.
Richard, what can you say just about the way the team was able to rebound against, a tough St. Louis team coming off the Illinois loss?
Yeah, I thought we competed much better. I mean, they were really selling out towards the end, and they were just sending 4 or 5 guys. But I thought for the most part, the middle of the second half, I thought we were playing terrific basketball, and we were hitting bodies, we were blocking out. So that was a great step in the right direction, because that is a tough, physical, talented, well-coached team.
And Marcus, back to you for the next one.
Obviously, Marcus finishes with 32, but it seemed like in the second half, he was finding guys, and other guys were stepping up. Gabe and, Eric and other guys were getting involved in the offense to help you guys sustain.
Yeah, I thought that was the best ball movement of the year. We've obviously got a lot of new faces out there. It's going to take some time to be able to, get that on-court chemistry. They're really, really good kids off the court. They've got great chemistry off the court, but we still got to be able to gel, and that takes time. But I thought that was the best ball movement that we had for sure. We're really good at getting to the foul line after 8 games, and 34 points from the foul line is you're normally going to win the game.
Just waiting a few moments for another question for Coach to roll in. Andy Grader, we will go back to you now.
Coach, what can you say just about Jarvis Omersa's decision to opt out? I know it was COVID. What else was going on with that?
That's it. Yeah, that was it. He just didn't feel comfortable, and I respect his decision. We constantly are trying to remind everybody we are playing sports in the middle of a pandemic. It's just like if a restaurant is open and some feel comfortable going, and normally there's one friend that says, hey, I don't feel comfortable. And you got to respect that. We're in the middle of a 100-year pandemic, and there's a lot of uncertainty. People have different family situations as well, maybe somebody locally or so on. So I respect his decision. I know it's a tough decision for him. I know he'd love to be around his teammates. But, what we got going on right now is not normal. And certainly we respect him for the decision that he's making, and want what's best for everybody in our program.
And Andy, we will go right back to you for another one.
What did you feel like was working so well defensively for you guys?
I think we started rebounding the basketball. Thought we did a really good job of preparing for their stuff. We were locked in, we were ready, we were connected, but we were finishing the possession. We're decent defensively. We're not great, but we've struggled to finish the possession. We did a really good job tonight of being in the right spots to hit bodies, because they absolutely attacked the offensive glass ferociously. They just come at you. And our guys were really, really good in the second half there.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
Going into the Iowa game, big game on Christmas Day. Talk about the performance, just not only just coming off a big loss like Illinois, but obviously playing together as you did in the second half.
Yeah, that's a top 25 team. I don't know how many games that team's going to lose in their conference. So that's a great quality win. It's a team effort. A lot of guys stepped up, and you kind of just take it one day at a time. I haven't even thought of Iowa. We'll take a couple days off, enjoy this win, enjoy the fact that we've been able to play 7 games in the middle of a pandemic, 7 non-conference games. Not sure I would have bet on that. So very, very grateful for those nurses that are there every morning testing us, our administration being able to allow this to happen, and our guys trusting in us. So, proud of where we're at, but still know we got a long way to go. And obviously a big one on Christmas Day, but we're going to enjoy the next couple of days off, get rested, get healthy, and turn the page. Any last questions for Coach Pitino? A couple quick seconds.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone will get right into the players here in just a couple moments. As a reminder, for players, we will have Marcus Carr and Isaiah Ihnen. Thanks, everyone. All right, Isaiah, thank you for hopping on with us. Obviously, we'll be starting with Isaiah Ihnen. Just one last reminder, please message me if you'd like to ask a question. And Andy Greeter, you can start us off.
Coach Pitino said that he told you after the game that you won the game for the team. What does it mean to you to hear that high praise?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we were able to pull out the win. You know, like at the end of the day, when it's the most important thing, I was glad that I was able to help the team today.
Just waiting a couple moments for another question to roll in for Isaiah. Andy, we will go right back to you.
Isaiah, what do you think was the biggest improvement for you this year over last year?
I would just say toughness, just understanding that 95%, like Coach Pitino is very big on that, like everything besides scoring the ball, like everything on the offensive end, that everything like that, like really matters. And that's something I can like really help the team with, and just focusing on that like completely. And that definitely helped, I think, I feel like.
Next question will go to Marcus Fuller.
Isaiah, I know obviously your teammate Jarvis decided to opt out. What was the mindset of the team going into this game, knowing that he provides so much energy on the bench and on the court that you other bench players are going to have to make up for that?
I mean, yeah, I mean with Jarvis, like we're missing someone with a lot of energy, like a very athletic guy. But you know, at the end of the day, like that's something that we were big on, just making sure that everybody stays energized, like make sure, because I mean he was the loudest voice on the bench, even just so just making sure that we have other people that can cover that, and I feel like today we did a good job doing that.
Do we have any remaining questions for Isaiah? Andy, you want to take us home?
Isaiah, what did you feel like was key for you guys defensively?
I would say shutting down Perkins. Like, I mean, just taking away all their shots in general, especially with Perkins, who was their top scorer. Like he did not get going at all in the first half, so I feel like that was something that definitely helped us a lot. So yeah.
And Andy, one last from you.
Isaiah, what do you feel like was the biggest adjustment just being in the U.S. last year, kind of the culture change for you?
I mean, I would say defensively, like defense, just getting used to that.
All right, Isaiah. Andy, do you want to ask one more real quick?
Yeah, what about kind of just off the court as well? Was there any cultural differences kind of off the court that you had to adjust to?
I mean, honestly, not that much, if I'm being honest. I mean, in Germany, listen to the same music. We basically ate the same. Oh, actually, I would say food would be a big difference. Like, it's a lot more unhealthy over here. I would say, like, especially living on campus, it's hard to find places where you can eat, like, get more healthier food, I would say, But, yeah, that's something I would say that was the biggest adjustment for me. But besides that, everything is pretty similar. I mean, obviously a different language, but, yeah.
All right, Isaiah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we will clearly be closing out with Marcus Carr tonight. Marcus, thank you for hopping on with us. We will get right into questions as soon as one is sent to me in the chat. And it looks like Andy, you can start us off.
Marcus, how much easier, how much more flow is it when you're able to make some threes? How much does that kind of just help the overall offense?
Obviously it's always nice to make threes. Threes worth more than two. But it definitely, just opens up the court, gives us a bit more spacing whenever we're trying to play, drive lanes and feed the post if we're shooting the ball well. Then, we're able to do that at a higher level.
Marcus Fuller, over to you.
Marcus, talk about, the importance of, playing well in this game, going into Big Ten season and a big game like Iowa on Christmas Day. Obviously, what you showed versus Illinois wasn't indicative of this team's talent.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, we didn't have the showing that we wanted at Illinois. It was our first Big Ten game, first road game. But, we hit the ground working after that and, just learned from our mistakes and seen where we had to get better. And then we had a good St. Louis team coming to our house tonight. And, we just wanted to take care of business and we did that.
Andy, back to you for the next one.
Marcus, what would you say is the biggest improvement that Isaiah has made year over year?
I think the first thing was just, him making improvements to his body. It's a very tough physical conference. So, coming in, he was a bit of a skinnier dude. So, he's made improvements with his body. He got stronger, just learned more about, how we play and where he fits in that. And then also just, learn that, doing the little things is really what's going to separate him and help us win is when we all do the little things. So, when it's not just simply a focus on maybe just scoring or, just on the ball defense, but, other things, all little things, rebounding, just the 95% that Coach P is always preaching to us. So, I feel like he's really embraced that this year and he's definitely made huge strides.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
Marcus, it seemed like Coach said that this is the best ball movement that he's seen all season. You got the bigs involved, but you also, Gabe hit a couple threes. It seemed like everybody was contributing, especially in the second half.
Yeah, most definitely. I felt like, like you said early on, we were still able to, get the bigs going, get a couple post feeds and, just get great shots from the inside out. I feel like that was also an emphasis of ours after coming off Illinois is just, getting great shots, getting shots that we want and kind of just not rushing our offense. So I feel like we did a much better job of that today and as well as getting to the free throw line.
And Andy, back to you again.
How would you assess the quality of this St. Louis team?
I've watched them quite a few times. They really impressed me that game against LSU. So I think they're a very good team. I know they're either ranked or on the cusp of being a top 25 team coming into today. So I think they're definitely a very talented team. Definitely, have a good chance of winning their conference and, going forward.
Marcus, back to you.
I know this was an undersized team, so obviously your smaller lineup helped out a lot, especially trying to break the press. But how important is just Liam staying out of foul trouble going to be for you when you play against bigger teams like an Iowa with Luka Garza and other teams in the Big Ten moving forward?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be huge, going to be key for him to do that. But, it's not always just him. Sometimes we all collectively have to do a bit of a better job with post defense, giving them help down there, digging and different things like that. And then sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, certain things the refs are calling. So, he's just going to keep at it. He's going to keep being him, keep playing. He played really well tonight and helped us out in a lot of ways. So, if he didn't play how he played and gave us the minutes that he gave, then we wouldn't have won the game.
And do we have any final question requests for Marcus? All right, Marcus, have a good night. Thank you for hopping on with us. Everyone else, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening. See you, everyone.